channel. Today I'm going to talk about everything that we're going to be using for 5th grade in this next coming school year. I have 5 kiddos ages 12, 10, 8, 6, and 3, and welcome to my channel. We are going into our 5th year of homeschooling, so we are super excited to use this. This is our 5th year using Timberdoodle, and we have about 11 of their kits, which is so awesome and wonderful. We're so blessed to have been able to do this for our kiddos. And what I love about Timberdoodle is that they go ahead and give you a awesome handbook and a scheduler, and it's everything you ever needed to know, how many lessons or pages you need to do per thing. And then at the very end of it, or the beginning of it rather, they give you a kind of checklist, like a weekly checklist to do. And I do this online, and I'm able to put in our start day or end date, dates that we're gonna be gone, how many weeks we wanna do school, how many days of weeks we wanna do school, and then it spits out everything for me. I can even add courses like piano or chores or Bible or what else did I add? Oh, I have the kiddos do like a historical book, a geography book, and a classic literary book, and I'm able to add those reading sessions in and everything else. And I love this scheduler because it just does all the math for me. It does all that hard work for me, right? It comes with a scheduler and a handbook, which is like my best friend. I read through these pretty much all through the year and just gives me like a nice little reminder of what I need to be doing. So I'm going to start with language arts, and we have some STEM and some history, and then we have some math and thinking skills stuff and testing and art. So stick around, like and subscribe, and thank you so much. Now for language arts, this is their writing curriculum. Jump in, and I do have the kiddo right in here. It's just easier to kind of have everything in one place. I think they do have a journal with this. I'm not quite sure because I wanted to have writing prompts every day, and this is something that they kind of do like a lesson per day. We have added in Explode the Code. This is not a part of their kit, but I like to have them do 2 to 3 pages per week, and I believe it only goes all the way up to 8. So this is her last year in 5th grade doing this. She might get to it this summer if she's done with her book 7, so we'll see. So this is just finishing up the series of Explode the Code. 101 doodle definitions. You guys, this is such a fun way to learn new words and vocabulary and different mnemonics on just how to, just words and how to remember them. It's just really fun, and it's kind of fun with art. Like, how cool is that? So she's gonna love that. So we use Spelling You See for all of our kiddos, and I like it because they have these different diagraphs and chunking you can do with the vowels and the consonants and bossy R syllables, and it's really just repetition. And then they have a dictation page, which is really nice, and so I really like this program. I do have all about reading levels 1 through 4 that I like kind of just picking up here and there when we have time, just so that we learn the rules. And it comes with a part 1, part 2, and there are 36 lessons, and so they do a letter a day. So 31A, 30 is Monday, 31B is another day, C, and so forth. Okay, so I think it'd be really fun for her to do this writing poetry workbook and just do 1 page a day and work through it. She loves writing poems and rhyming. She's really witty and awesome, and I think this would really be fun for her to work through. This is not a part of the kit, but I am having her go through grammar and punctuation. These are just easy 1-pagers. I'll just have her do a page a day, and if there's extra, we'll just finish it in the following summer. And then lastly, we have Mazda. So we love Mazda. So they start this in 3rd grade, and we just love the stories that they have in here. They're based on, true kind of real stories and real things that happen in history, and it's colorful. And then at the end, they basically have, like review questions, focus questions, and then they have a writing prompt. Let me see if I can find one here. Okay, so here we have the review, the quick review, and the focus. And I have them have a journal, and then they just do questions 1 through 6. And sometimes when there's time or they feel compelled, they have the option of doing the creative writing. The reason I don't make creative writing mandatory is because we already have the jump in writing curriculum. With Mazda, there is a workbook that comes with it, and I have her do 4 to 6 pages depending on the topic and the different the different stories. So they have vocabulary, they have different comprehension questions, and they have, you know, kind of organizing the work. And the worksheets are super fun. It's not too cluttered, it's right to the point. And I like that she can immediately learn what she needs to by the fun graphs and illustrations, and it just makes language arts fun. Okay, so for history, we are gonna be doing two things, and she's gonna be working through America the Beautiful this whole year. And then as a separate thing, she is going to start History of the Horse through Beautiful Feet books. And we are going to be doing early American history, and she's going to do this over 2 years, both History of the Horse and early American history. I love Beautiful Feet books because it's literature based and everything else, and this is kind of what it looks like with the different lessons. I'll show you one example. Look at it's so pretty, and you have the options of doing this, and I think she would really like this kind of learning. Anyway, so here are how the lessons are. They should take about 20 to 30 minutes per lesson. So if she's working through this over 2 years, she's going to be doing 2 lessons per week out of each basically book of History of the Horse and early American history. America the Beautiful is a lesson a day, and the reading is really nice, and there's 2 textbooks because it's huge, and I love all the there's a piece of paper. All the images and illustrations that they use, and then there's different activities at the very end that they do, and I have them do every single one. And so I have the workbooks, like they have to fill in the map and the timeline, and I will show you this here. So this is the map book. And so, you know, for this corresponding lesson, they need to do something down here. And I love that they have that for her. There's a student workbook as well. And so at the end of every lesson, there's an activity that tells them exactly what to do, and a really fun worksheets. And it's in color, so that makes it really fun. And then they have the timeline, which is really nice. So they get a sense of kind of, you know, when what is happening and, you know, who's around when. And we also have the history timeline kind of book that, you know, that everybody uses, who's like Charlotte Mason. So we have that as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have her copy it down with what she's doing. We'll have to see. With her kind of journaling in the morning, she is gonna be going through, I'll show you in a minute, year of discovery, but I think it would be really fun. She loves journaling and writing and doodling, so I thought it'd be kind of fun for her to have this if she wanted to work on it as like an option of what to do. Okay, with history, she also has this graphic novel, and I don't know how to check in the handbook if she's supposed to be reading this once a month, so you can retell the story by the end of the year, or just read through it one time. I'll have to see, but this is a fun read that we do. For our kiddos, we have them read 15 to 20 minutes of a historical book, geography book, and literature book. And so after she's done with this, I also have them reading like the Who Was books, and America the Beautiful does have additional reading in there, so she's getting lots of reading this year. Also for history, we have Draw the US, and so every single day they build on what they've drawn before, and I believe I have them working through a sketchbook with this so that we can reuse this. And this is just a fun way to kind of do geography and learn the different states. Okay, for math, we are going to be using Epsilon, and I love Math UC, and I have this check your work after every lesson because it is mastery based. So for every lesson there's 30 in here, and they have letters A, B, and C, and D, E, F, and G. A to C is lesson practice, and D, E, F is systemic review, where they go over things that were learned in previous lessons, and G is an application page, which is really nice of how to relate it to real world things, which we love. Okay, and it comes with a instruction manual, and so some of the things that they're asked about, we do need a reference in here, but they have the online videos, which is amazing. Mr. Demi is so cool, and we like seeing him over time. How his videos are getting better and better and better. It's nice to have those online videos. It really helps the teacher out. And they have this new thing where you can generate extra worksheets, which is really nice if your student needs more practice. They have a test workbook here, and it's, you know, they have one for every single lesson, and then they have a unit test. And I believe there's 4 unit tests and then a final test. And I have them write in a math notebook, and I got this book, but the squares are really big. So I don't know if she's gonna, I'm giving her the option to use it or just using a regular composition notebook. Okay, for science, we're gonna be using Real Science for Kids. This is something new for us. In their previous kits, they had the science in the industrial age. And so this is something that I really, oh, I just cracked. This is something that I really like because it is so easy for the child to kind of read on their own. Obviously, if they need help, we can, do it together. And we're able to sort of do the experiments online, and they're optional, which is really nice. This does come with a digital download, and so they have different worksheets and questions and other things that I need to print out and put in a binder for them. And so this is our first year using this. I'm so excited. We also have Dr. Bonafide. She's already done book 1 and book 3, and this is just a super fun way to learn about your skeleton and just your bones and all that good stuff. Okay, so for critical thinking and thinking skills, we have critical and creative, and I love this. They have 3-page topics, and so you basically do a topic a week, and this is fun to it's just a different way to kind of look at things, and we love these because it's practice with, comparing, contrasting, and coming up with different answers and looking at all the different factors of how to get to an answer, which is nice. Then we have Cats in Boxes. I love how they always include games in their kits, and it's always so cute. Like, look at these tiny little kitty cats, you guys. Like, how cute is that? And so I believe there's about 80 prompts or challenges in this. And then they have the Genius Star. Now this, I don't know if it's in their newest kit. Again, I'm using a kit that I purchased a couple of years ago, but on their website, they do have an updated version. So their language arts pretty much stays the same, and their history and everything else. So the core things pretty much stay the same in their kits, and they kind of upgrade or change, the different art courses and what have you. So I'm not sure if Genius Star is in the newest kit, but it's really fun, challenges for the kiddos, and it's just a great way to break up the work and the textbook kind of work that they have during the day. Okay, for art, they are going to be doing Have I Got a Story for You, is not they, Ada, my 5th grader. And I put this in a binder, and it was a downloadable thing that they had, and they have different, vocabulary, then they have different questions. It's nice history for, I believe it's the post-impressionist era. And so they're gonna be learning about Van Gogh and who else? Oh, Picasso and Matisse. And I like this because they're able to kind of also do some art activities as well. And then they have these flashcards where they kind of look at and then they memorize who it's from, and kind of get exposed to different artwork. And then they have, for her this year, is My Year of Discovery, which is really cool prompts for every day. And again, they like to do more than one per day, which is fine as long as they're getting all their other stuff done. So this will be really cool for her to work through, and again, break up some of her things that she's doing. So for watercoloring, they have a watercolor kind of set here for them. And then this kind of goes through the different lessons here. So she'll do like a lesson a week here, and then she'll kind of test out on the paper and do the different techniques. And I also want her to go through this book here, Watercolor in Nature. She loves art, so it'd be kind of nice for her to sketch and to kind of do the different techniques and angles and brush strokes and what have you. So she's gonna really, really enjoy this book. Now for STEM, it's this part I think she's most excited about, is the stop motion and the base kit coding set. Now I know for this year in their kit, they do have something different. So this was from a couple years ago, but this here is online based, and they have these different pieces that they kind of put together, and then things light up, and it's super fun. And I know that Abigail had a really good time doing this one. The one that they have on their website now for the 5th grade kit is so cool. I wanted to get it so bad, but I was like, you know what? We already have a coding kit. For stop motion, this is what they're going through. And I basically, the first 2 months, I have them read, see, she was reading the book. I have her read through it, and then, basically once she knows the why and the how, she's able to kind of work through what she kind of wants to do. I'll have her storyboard, which is really nice. And then it's just nice to know the how of stop motion. And then here they have the camera, which is really nice that it comes with. And then I believe the software is downloadable. So this is what we're doing for 5th grade. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And thanks so much for watching. Bye.